Okay, so emphasize transparency and integrity. So it may seem counterintuitive to some folks out there to be particularly open and transparent during a merge because there's so much variability, there's so many things that are kind of vulnerable to not going well. But and this is one person's opinion, right? This is my and my brand's opinion. But I believe it's very wise to be transparent as you can when you're going through a merge. And the reason that is because in times of change, teams and even clients can be particularly uncomfortable. Change is not something that people like love. Not a lot of people love. There are levels of uncertainty that comes with mergers and acquisition and change in general, related to responsibilities, related to teams, related to career growth, related to responsibility, and even related to what the day to day looks like. Not to mention work life balance and the stress of getting things settled in that period where you're handling the merge. It can be really easy for existing team members to go into a fear state and start thinking about, well, what happens if this, or what if this person gets the promotion, or if they get, what if they downsize because they don't need this and that. And then you start getting people thinking, kind of chaotically or in ways that are really self-focused, which, if they don't need to be, and this comes back to the transparency and integrity, if they don't need to be concerned and you have a clear plan, then communicate that with them, because you'll align them around the plan that they'll be able to move forward on. Now, if you have a circumstance where people may be losing their jobs, you should expect them to be uncertain and you shouldn't lie. Now, there's a couple of different ways to handle it. You shouldn't outright be like, nobody is losing their jobs, because that puts people in a position where they're now planned for that. And if you're operating that way as a business, I don't think very highly of that. But if you can afford to be completely transparent because you know this is the goal, this is what's going to happen, then you can take some of that chaos around people's fear and you can align it around the goal, so you're more likely to have the merge go the way that you want. So if you know, well, I like this person for this promotion, that person for that promotion, I want to keep both of them, I have this plan for strategy, there's two schools of thought. One manager might say, well, I'm not going to tell them, I'm going to have them fight with each other, and one of them will try to excel the other, we'll get more short-term productivity, and then I'll give the promotion even though I've already made the decision. You could think that way, but you see how that lacks integrity, and you're going to create a circumstance where those two people aren't necessarily uncomfortable, where they may be working against each other, where they may have a this instead of a this inside of the team. And if you can afford to just put that transparency up front, these are our goals, this is what we want to happen, this is the way we want it to go, you're more likely to have the outcome you want with your merge.